A little worried about this bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about the exhaust. Dude, it's so pieced together. If it holds together, I'll be shocked.
You rigged it?
I rigged it. Rig style.
You haven't run it fully yet, right?
Nope. It's been a long road. You know, we started talking about it probably about April, maybe May of last year. And, you know, it was something we knew we wanted to do, but we didn't know exactly how to go about it. Didn't know really much about Biltwell at all, except from what we'd heard from people.
So I felt really good today. This bike has run the best it's ever ran. You know, sometimes a lot of hard work turns into luck at the very end. And, you know, I feel like I just got really lucky. You know, everything felt really dialed in. All the hours and, you know, weeks and months of working on this bike just kind of got lucky at the very end, and everything kind of worked out. So I feel pretty confident going into this Biltwell race.
Thaison had the Husky, which is, you know, the classic desert bike, and I kind of wanted to find something in the similar vein. Been a huge fan of Bultaco forever. I couldn't find one that was completely put together and a good desert bike and motocross bike per se. So I had to piece it together, and I found a really great motor. It was owned by Tom Patton, sales director for Bultaco in the mid-70s, and he was also a motocross racer. So he ran under the Bultaco banner, which I didn't know anything about until I saw the motor and did the research and purchased it. And the guy that had the parts and was kind of getting rid of motorcycle stuff that Tom Patton had for the estate was giving me the history, and I just thought it was amazing. I felt like this is kind of something that needs to be kept together and remembered. So I left his initials up here, Tom Patton. Started putting it together with the help of a bunch of friends. You know, Tom Antreasian really helped me out a lot. A great guy. And he turned me on to people who had parts. Started collecting parts. It's a complete Frankenstein. Nothing on this bike came as a set. I'm just super happy with it. You know, I haven't had a chance to ride it more than maybe 10 minutes total until today. So us getting out today on the desert and actually getting to hear it run and feel it in the dirt it felt amazing. I just wish we'd have had more time. We're leaving in 4 days, and it's just not enough time. So hopefully we get out there and, you know, we can learn on the fly, because we're probably only the two guys out there that are going to really be learning their bikes on the fly.
From where we started, you know, there was points and times where I wasn't even sure if this thing was going to be running. And when I picked this up and cruised this from our buddy Andy, you know, it was kind of in pieces. Bike hadn't ran in forever. I didn't know a single thing about Huskies, you know, not a single thing. Never worked on them. Was just a fan because of like Steve McQueen and the way this bike looked and all the old pictures of Steve McQueen on these bikes, and didn't really have a vision for what it was going to turn into. You know, sometimes it gets hard to see the end product and see the final vision when you're like stuck in the middle of it and one thing keeps breaking after another. And it fucking broke, dude. It worked for about 2 rides, and then on the third, the metal just couldn't support it. And it fucking broke right here where that little bit of support was. So gotta pull this whole thing off, get a new intake, and go back to the drawing board. I'm excited to get out to Biltwell. You know, it's great for the coffee shop, it's great for the brand, it's great for our mental health too, just to get out and do these races. I really like to challenge myself. We've had a lot of good support at the coffee shop, and a lot of people kind of rooting for us in a weird way coming from New Mexico. You know, Sykey really came in and helped me out with the timing. That was something that I was just completely lost on. You know, the timing thing just threw me off. Part of it is too, like, I just, you know, we want to represent New Mexico too. We want to represent New Mexico, the coffee shop, the whole thing, our community. You know, we might be the only people in this entire race coming to California to race from New Mexico. So we got to represent our brand well.
Thaison had to do a pit stop up on the hill. Yeah. It's got a tiny bladder. Right, so this is our 4th or 5th stop for Thaison to go find a...
He has to go pee in the potty.
Coffee first and then gas.
Hopefully the coffee doesn't give you gas.
It will.
I think where they mean is Starbucks right there.
We're going, Russ's Gold Coffee is going to Starbucks. So.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. All right, dude, what do you think? We're here, finally.
I think our bikes better start, or we're going to be in some serious trouble. It's a long trip. How's it going, man?
Good, how you doing? I'll take your numbers, your helmet, and your last name.
Last name's Garcia. ICT. How about?
We're finally here, and it's freaking freezing out here. Managed to get my tent up. Looks pretty good in here. It's actually pretty warm in here, and I've got my, I think it's like a 20 degree or 15 degree sleeping bag, so I think I'm gonna be okay. You can see lots of RVs and stuff out there. People brought like really nice camping rigs, and of course in rig style, you know, we just brought a couple of tents thinking it was gonna be 70 degrees here, and it's not the case.
It's the morning of the race. Thank God the wind stopped, but I don't know if you can see it on camera. It's still very cold. It's probably 33. I slept in the truck because I was being a baby. I'll admit it. These guys are all set up here. We have one more night after the race here. I'm doing the most important thing, getting the coffee going. I don't think anything much is going to happen this morning until that happens.
Right on, guys. Welcome to the 2024 Biltwell 100. Big thanks to Otto and Josh and Bill and the whole Biltwell team. This is our favorite event of the year to host. You guys are all so fun. We thank you all for coming. Who's never done a desert race before ever in their life? Cool. Well, you guys are going to be hooked by the end of the day till we release one row at a time. It's very, very important for timing and scoring. So that's it. Thank you all. I thank the BLM for helping us host this race. Thanks to Biltwell. Tommy, you're up.
Actually just finished the race, 3 laps, 75 miles out here in Biltwell, and it was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be honest with you. Like, grew up racing motocross and everything, and I don't know if it's this like vintage bike and the suspension, tires. The course got kind of tough actually at a few points where you got to do some climbs and then there's some gnarly descents. And you know, this course had everything from 5 million whoops, like deep ass whoops. It had sand, it had boulders, it had tons of incline, decline. I mean, it just had everything, man. And I actually wrecked one of the times in a sandy section. I was trying to kind of ride the side of a berm, which was like, you know, less fine sand. And I came down, the front tire grabbed and it kind of threw me over the handlebars, landed on my left side, bent up my shift lever. The bike looks okay. I had to, it stalled out one other time, came off the side of the track, stalled the bike. Every time you basically stop, it's really hard to get back on and get going because you're just thrashed. After that first lap, man, I was like, I don't even know if I want to do 2 more, to be honest with you. It was pretty rugged, and you know, everybody was here at the pits, everyone's kind of cheering you on and getting you to go. So I did another lap, and at that 3rd lap, I was like, fuck it, you know, like I already did 2. I got 1 more to go. Dead ass tired. You know, towards that last lap, I didn't even want to like stand. Tried sitting down on the bike as much as possible, which is also super dangerous. You don't want to do that also, because then the bike starts throwing you everywhere. But had a blast, man. Like, this has been racing my whole life, and this is one of the funner races we've done. So probably come out and do it again next year if my bike holds up. Steve? There's probably like 10 bikes, maybe 15 on there.
Well, he's been waiting for hours.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen him.
I don't know when they start picking people up.
Well, made 1 lap. Kind of lucky I even made that. We got out with the vintage bikes and it was a total blast, but this course is pretty rough. The sand is a little bit different than our New Mexico sand, a lot slicker, looser. Our New Mexico sand's pretty sticky, and there's nothing but whoops out here. And to be honest with you, old bike like this 75 suspension is not meant for those whoops. Came over a hill, down into the whoops. Not really great suspension. I just endoed. I back end went over. I grabbed too much front brake. Bike came over on top of me. Fuck. Smashed my helmet. Man, if there's ever reason to make sure you wear a helmet, that was part of it. I got some bad banging up here and cracked the helmet. Luckily, a couple of people came over. They were broken down on the side. They helped me get the bike and get off the track. Sort of laid there for about probably a good hour just trying to get my bearings again, and bike had flooded out. Was finally able to get it started. Rode probably another 2 or 3 miles and ran out of fuel. I had spilt it all when I crashed. So luckily I had a little spare canister and pulled the tank off, pulled the plug out, poured a little fuel in the canister, and about an hour and a half later, I decided I'm just gonna try and get it started and ride back. Got some fuel in the cylinder, got it started, and she made it. She made it at least 1 lap. Would have liked to have made all 3. I was happy just to make it back. So, of course, it was tougher than I was expecting, but we did it. We accomplished our goal. We built them to come out here. We did it, we rode it, you know, got 1 full lap in. Thaison got all 3 in, so feel pretty good about it. A little sore, but I feel good about it.
Lately
You're not looking too good, dude.
Dude, my head is still killing me, man.
Yeah? This
Yeah.
is like day 2.
Yeah, I know.
What do you think happened?
Well, I'm sure I got a concussion, and I don't know if it was because I was all sort of like knocked out. I don't know. I kind of felt like this almost like connection almost to like the desert almost, you know. It felt very like peaceful and
Interesting.
I was probably just,
You're
you know,
probably
my
all
brain
high.
was probably,
You're probably-
I was dehydrated and my brain's all
Dehydrated.
whacked out and
A little concussed, smelling a lot of gas. You're probably like,
So-
oh yeah. Like, it's hard for me to get back into the regular world of things when we leave events like this. You know, when we would leave the flat track night and it was like Saturday night and it was just such a good night and you're rolling back into the city, I almost get like a little weird and like sad. I get like a little depressed because I'm like, now I got to go back to the real world.
dude, maybe you need to see a therapist.
Just ain't no small town blues, so it ain't that.
I'm sure the staff is happy that we were gone.
I can only imagine what kind of drama they got into. Dude.
Hair was to my waist, Swedish metal in my truck, trying to make my case. Just ain't the small town blues.
Man, I am beat. Need some espresso.
Me too.
Well, what do you think, man? Back home?
Well, I think it's a miracle the coffee shop didn't burn down.
Yeah, for sure.
I was born with these boots, they were chasing me down. I lost my mind in that one-horse town. Cut my teeth on misery, was never welcome around. Was just a skinny long-haired country boy with small-town